On Global News Express, Serap sues Tinubu over Fubara, his deputy and House of Assembly members. In business, FAC, federal government, state, local government share lower February revenue of 1.678 trillion naira. And from the foreign scene, Russian strike Kyiv kills 3, injures 10. From the world of sport, Osimhen declares war as Super Eagles gear up for Zimbabwe showdown. Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Express on Global Television. Coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Ramsey Enoch Agbo. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times 276. You can download the Global TV Nigerian mobile app for Android and iOS devices to keep track of our broadcast. The Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project has taken President Bola Tinubu to court over what it calls the unlawful suspension of the Rivers State Governor, his deputy, and House of Assembly members. The 6-month suspension was announced while the president proclaimed a state of emergency in the state. Serap argued that the decision violates constitutional provisions and undermines democratic governance. The lawsuit filed at the Federal High Court in Abuja was initiated by 3 members of Serap's Volunteers Lawyers Network in Rivers State. A joint security operation involving the Federal Capital Territory Police Command and the military has rescued a kidnapped naval officer, Lieutenant Cynthia Ako, attached to the defense headquarters, and 2 civilians adopted from Mpape in Abuja. The victims were taken on March 21, 2025, when armed men attacked the Maman Vasa Estate gate, blocked Mpape Road, and opened fire on moving vehicles before abducting them. FCT Police Command spokesperson SP Josephine Ade says the kidnappers later contacted their families, demanding 500 million naira for the naval officer and 200 million each for the civilians. The Nigerian Senate is reviewing a bill aimed at regulating and enhancing safety standards for articulated vehicles to reduce fatality from highway accidents. Senator Babangida Hussaini, representing Jigawa Northwest Senatorial District, disclosed this in an interview in Dutse, Jigawa State. He cited data showing that over 1,613 Nigerians have died in 169 fuel tanker explosions recorded between June 2009 and October 2024. The bill, which was read for the first time in November 2024, Hussaini says it aims to make provision for the regulation and safety of articulated vehicles in line with the Constitution. The chairman of Ikole local government area, Bayo Omojola, has urged residents to be security conscious and protect electricity transformers in the communities from the vandalism. Omojola gave this advice in an interview with its Ikole Ekiti. He says communities currently enjoying uninterrupted electricity supply were those whose transformers remain in good condition, adding that it is important for every resident of Ikole Ekiti and other communities under the council to take responsibility for protecting their transformers from vandals. The Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria says in its temporary shut the Samuel Ladoke Akintola Airport, Ibadan, Oyo State, to facilitate extensive upgrade work to enhance infrastructure and operational standards. Found in a statement signed by its Director of Public Affairs and Consumer Protection, Obiageli Ora, stated that the federal government had approved the closure, which became necessary to enable the excursion of critical improvements at the airport. The Nigerian Airspace Management Agency has consequently closed the runway and suspended airport operations by the International Civil Aviation Organization regulations. The upgrade is part of the state government's move to transform the aerodrome into international status. The Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetakun, has warned officers of the Nigerian Police Force against unlawful and prolonged detention. He stressed that any officer found violating constitutional provisions on human rights will face serious consequences. This is detailed in a statement released and signed by the Force Public Relations Officer, ACP, Olumuyiwa Adejobi. The IG reaffirmed the police leadership commitment to upholding human rights and ensuring due process in all detention procedures. The Benue State Executive Council has passed a vote of confidence on Governor Hyacinth Alia and his administration for his effort in taming insecurity and his leadership qualities. This was the unanimous decision of the fourth council meeting held at the Government House in Makurdi. Correspondent Felicity Ndere reports.
Following the conscious efforts of the Governor Hyacinth Alia-led administration in addressing issues of insecurity in the state, the Fourth Executive Council meeting unanimously passed a vote of confidence on the present administration in the state. Deputy Governor Sam Ode, who doubles as the vice chairman of the council, moved the motion on his principle.
We have unanimously, as a council, decided and hereby passed a vote of confidence on the political and security leadership of our government.
Members of the State Executive Council were unanimous in their support for the vote of confidence on the governor.
High reduction in crime and insecurity in the state. That I can go home and stay for 3 days without having a patient. And therefore, we personally some kudos and thanks for all that you have done to bring us to where we are.
After thunder comes rain. So we are confident that there is peace at the end of this tunnel. Politically speaking, we affirm the fact that the governor is the undisputable leader of Benue State. Socially speaking, we identify the fact that the masses are still with us.
A good sailor is made by the turbulent storms that go through. And so far so good, you are sailing this very ship to the right direction.
Governor Hyacinth Alia, who appreciated the council for their confidence in him, assured them that their support will spur him to do more for the overall welfare of the state.
Thank you so much for giving this vote of confidence, which again we re-engineer my thinking, my institutions and all the planning, to ensuring that the oath I took, the missions, and the mission which all of us are onto, it's brought not only to bear, but fruitfully executed.
He pledged that his administration will not relent until all displaced persons will return to their ancestral homes. In Makurdi, Felicity Ndere, Global TV News.
The governor of Jigawa State, Umar Namadi, has expressed disappointment over the quality of work on the 10.8 billion naira gully erosion control project in Kargo, Dutse local government area of the state. During an unscheduled visit, Namadi faulted the contractor, Retache Company Limited, for using substandard materials, warning that his administration will not tolerate poor workmanship. The project, supported by the World Bank, aimed to combat erosion in affected communities including Damasara, Yalwawa, and Kargo under the Agroclimate Resilience in Semi-Arid Landscape Initiative. It was supposed to be a typical night commute for many, but it turned into nightmare for those who witnessed the devastating fire on Otedola Bridge. The inferno, which engulfed a tanker and several vehicles, left a trail of destruction and chaos in its wake. The fire, which started when a gas tanker brakes failed, quickly spread to nearby businesses, including a mechanic workshop, a hospital, and several provision and clothing stores. The incident counted 18 vehicles, 10 tricycles, and all of which destroyed in the blaze. The Association of Local Government of Nigeria, ALGON, has commended the progress made in implementing the Supreme Court's judgment that granted financial autonomy to local governments in Nigeria. Chairman of ALGON's Board of Trustees, Honorable Odunayo Otegbero, made this while addressing journalists after a closed-door meeting in its members. Sharon Ajay has the details.
The chairman of ALGON's Board of Trustees, Honorable Odunayo Otegbero, emphasizes the need for autonomy to address critical issues such as security, health, and education at the grassroots level. With over 80% of Nigerians residing in local government areas, ALGON stresses the importance of empowering local governments to drive social, political, and rapid development.
Reports that so far so good. We are impressed the way they are handling the implementation. Even in spite of some bottlenecks, I want to believe they are making progress. And all these are in the interest of, we need, as the administrators at the local government level, to ensure that life is made better, for the citizens at the local government level. And this is why we have been clamoring for autonomy in local government so that we can implement a lot of developmental issues, particularly on security, health, education, and so on and so forth.
The association noted that democracy has returned to the local government level, with state governors conducting elections, a departure from the past where tickets were handed out. This development is seen as a positive step towards effective governance at the local level.
We are making tremendous progress at the third tier of government to ensure that our democracy system is felt at the grassroots, because development, we have to start from the grassroots. It's a bottom-top approach to implement the laudable programs and projects of Mr. President.
The association further applauds the federal government's implementations despite encountering challenges, noting that the committee has instructed local governments to open accounts with the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, for seamless financial operations. Sharon Ajay, reporting for Global TV News.
In a bid to cushion the effect of economic hardship, the Imo State government have distributed presidential palliative to Christians and Muslims faithful across Southeast. The Southeast and South region enjoy this benefit. Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma, who represented President Bola Tinubu during the distribution at Ndubisi Kano Square in Owerri, urged both Christians and Muslims communities to continue praying for the country. Our correspondent Amarachi Ibe has the report.
Ndubisi Kano Square in Owerri, the state capital. Truckloads of food items arrive for distribution as part of the federal government's relief program. The initiative coincides with both the Christian Lenten season and the Muslim Ramadan fast, providing much-needed support to the less privileged. Addressing the gathering, Governor Hope Uzodinma emphasized that the palliative were meant for those in genuine need and called for transparency in the distribution process.
So I want, on behalf of Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, whose gifts we are distributing today, and be transparent in delivering these foodstuffs to those who need it, the poor and the downtrodden, those who are not able to see what they will use to break fast.
The governor also urged the faithful to continue to pray for President Bola Tinubu while avoiding actions that could distract him from successfully completing his tenure.
So as you pray, pray for God not to allow the president to be distracted. As long as his time is there, and is implementing his manifesto and programs, Nigeria will be a land of prosperity.
Religious leaders from both faiths were present to oversee and bless the distribution. They emphasized the importance of unity, charity, and mutual respect during this fasting period.
Here to talk about what you have considered very necessary with Mr. President to bring to the Christian community and the Muslim community. We want to say thank you, Your Excellency.
Our heartfelt gratitude to the President, and we pray that you will do more. How can we lose hope when Allah has sent hope in our midst here?
As the presidential palliatives has been distributed to both Christians and Muslims in the Southeast and South-South region, experts believe that this will go a long way in alleviating the sufferings of the people of the both region. From Ndubisi's Carlos Square, Amarachi Ibe, reporting for Global TV News.
The Imo State government has announced key initiative aimed at enhancing electricity supply, advancing digital innovation, and promoting youth engagement. The Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Declan Emelunba, disclosed this while briefing journalists on the outcome of the State Executive Council meeting. Amarachi Ibe completes the report.
Speaking after the Executive Council meeting, chaired by the Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma, the Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Declan Emelunba, reiterated government's commitment to improving power supply through the Light Up Imo project. He says the initiative is designed to generate, transmit, and distribute electricity across the state, with completion expected in the coming months.
In the state, they have entered into an agreement for the Rush Electricity Company to generate, transmit, and distribute electricity to the 27 local governments in the state. So with that, that is a step further towards ensuring that the Light Up Imo project is a reality. So in the next few months or thereabout, that project will be realized.
The Commissioner also announced the approval of Imo Digital City Company Limited, a government-backed initiative aimed at building a vibrant digital ecosystem. He noted that the government will provide land and infrastructure to support technology-driven enterprise and innovation in the state, adding that government has assigned portfolio to 5 newly appointed commissioners to further strengthen governance and administrative efficiency.
We also have the agreement between the state government and the Silicon Valley for the establishment of Imo Digital City Company Limited. Also, we have approval of ESCO for the youth marathon stakeholders engagement against insecurity. So, Ministry of Youth will organize the youths in a marathon exercise.
The Imo State government reaffirms that it will continue to prioritize infrastructure development, digital transformation, and youth empowerment. From Government House Owerri, Amarachi Ibe, reporting for Global TV News.
A trade expert who served as the treasurer of the Oyo State Shippers Association, Aminat Animasheun, has identified her interest rate on loans and poor infrastructure as key barriers hindering the export of Nigerian-made goods. Animasheun lamented that entrepreneurs seeking to export locally produced goods are struggling due to expensive credit facility. She called on the government to introduce single-digit interest rate loans to encourage more production for exports. And on the foreign scene, Kyiv authorities says Russian drone strike in the Ukrainian capital killed at least 3 people and wounded 10. The drone targeted several districts of Kyiv, mainly hitting residential buildings and causing large fire. According to footages circulating on social media, the 3 people died, including a 5-year-old child. Another 10 people were wounded. The youngest victim was only 11 months old. Russia and Ukrainian delegations are due to hold parallel ceasefire talks with U.S. representatives in Saudi Arabia on Monday. Sudan's army has reclaimed the presidential palace in the capital, Khartoum, in a significant victory over a rampaging militia that controls swat of the war-torn country. The Sudanese Armed Forces and the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces have viciously scrambled for territories since fighting broke out between them in April 2023. The conflict has triggered one of the world's worst humanitarian crises and has left more than 28,000 people dead, with 11 million others forced to flee their homes, according to the Armed Conflict Location and Event Data Initiative. The RSF has had a siege to Khartoum and the Sudanese seat of power since the start of the war. A Turkish opposition Republican People's Party, CHP members and others are currently gathering at polling stations for a primary selection to endorse the 10 Istanbul mayor, Ekrem İmamoğlu, as candidate for the next presidential election. And now in sport, Victor Osimhen says the Super Eagles' remaining 5 matches in the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers are a war that must be fought and won. The Super Eagles breathed new life into the qualifying campaign with a comfortable 2-0 victory over the Amavubi of Rwanda and Kigali on Friday. It was their first win in the qualifying series, where the 3 African champions moved to 4th position in Group C with 6 points from 5 games. La Liga giants Barcelona reportedly interested in Atlanta winger Ademola Lookman. Lookman, according to Spanish news hub Mundo Deportivo, is a possible option for Hansi Flick's side in the summer transfer window. The Nigerian international will be entering the final year of his Atlanta contract in the summer. The 27-year-old was close to linking up with League One champion Paris Saint-Germain last summer. As Global TV News Express come to an end, let's take a recap of our top stories. On Global News Express, the Social Economic Rights and Accountability Project has taken President Bola Tinubu to court over what it calls the unlawful suspension of Rivers State's governor, his deputy, and House of Assembly members. And from the world of business, the federal government, state government, and local government council have shared a total of 1.678 trillion as Federation account revenue for February 2025, according to a communique issued after the Federation Account Allocation Committee (FAC) that held a meeting in Abuja. And from the foreign scene, Kyiv authorities say Russian drone strike on the Ukrainian capital killed at least 3 people and wounded 10. And from the world of sport, Victor Osimhen has said the Super Eagles' remaining 5 matches in the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers are a war that must be fought and won. And that's it on Global TV News Express. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen by using @Global TV NG. You can download the Global TV Nigerian mobile app for Android and iOS devices to keep track of our broadcasts. I am Ramsey Enoch Agbo. Thank you for watching.